Previously on Breaking Point 2.
Already told Callie about your new job?
Yes, of course. And I told her, how I wished that I could take her with me.
I will be stepping away from the principal role next season. And we have already found a man to step into that role. Casper.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's truly an honor to be on board.
We all look forward to working with Casper, yes? Good. Then let us continue. Aiden, you had something you wanted to say? The floor is yours.
No, it's nothing. I just wanted to say, thank you, everybody, for all your hard work this year. And I'm really looking forward to next season, especially with Casper at the helm.
Well, things certainly look very different now as we come to 3 months later at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Chapter 7, 2023, and a fresh start. While the 2022 season exposed them to the harsh realities of life as a team on the F1 grid, Connor Sport BUTLER Global Racing Team looks set to bounce back with a newly invigorated team, now helmed by the fan favourite and former driver Casper Ackermann.
Did Casper being around affect you going into the 23 season?
I have bigger things going on than Casper.
Do you have any regrets about 2023? Anything you'd have done differently?
No, I'm in a good place now. Besides, what's to regret about being the story of the season?
And just like that, we are stepping into the shoes of Devon BUTLER. Yep, the man that we've hated for so long through the first story and so far in this one. We are going to have to play and drive as him as we are here in his driver room in the moto. The switch up is real, and when this happens in stories, it's always to try and make you see the other side of things. So it's going to be an interesting one going forward. We've got a call now.
Lads!
Devon.
How's business?
Same as ever, hiring and firing. How's racing?
Oh, ducking and driving.
You all prepared?
Of course, I've double-checked the strategy changes. I'm just going over my notes now. Everything's covered, just like always. They won't see me for dust.
Spoken like a true butler. Just remember, we've got a lot on the line this season.
Yeah, I know.
Dev, I'm serious. You're carrying this team, don't forget that.
Yeah, well, you keep signing these second-rate drivers. I can't do all the work.
Just remember where we'd be. Where you'd be if this were all to go belly up.
Just trust me, Dad. You've got nothing to worry about.
Devon, I mean it. If you don't bring your A game, it's back to the bottom of the pile. Do you really want that?
No. No, I don't.
Just keep it in mind. Now go out there and show me what you can do.
Already on it. I'll get you those points, Dad.
Good boy. Speak later.
Oh, I always had a hunch that Davidoff and Devon's relationship as father and son was probably a weird one. A bit of, kind of the father expecting a lot from him. Maybe a lot of pressure, clearly, by how Devon sounded. He almost sounded really down and kind of despondent by the end of the call. And Davidoff sounded so stern, like an absolute authoritative leader. Not a great father and son relationship. And maybe that's why Devon's turned out the way Devon is because of the way his father has been, to him all his life growing up, etc. And this is it, man. This is exactly like I said, every time you have a story like this where they switch it up and you play as the person that you've kind of seen as a villain, you see their side and you start to relate, and that's what makes a good villain, though, and what makes a pantomime villain, I guess, is you can understand why they're the way they're like this, their reasoning, etc. I think from that one phone call we can see maybe why Devon is the way he is. I think it's clearly from his father, basically. A lot of pressure on his on his shoulders, and he kind of maybe makes jokes and is arrogant about it because that's the way he deals with it, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just in their blood, and it's kind of just two negatives. One of them's got to bow down. But yeah, clearly his father expecting a lot, doesn't want to joke around with him, and Devon taking it to heart there, and clearly maybe feeling the pressure a little bit to perform this season. So we're going to have to see. Going through a few emails, and Casper Ackerman, our brand new team principal, addressing us directly as Devon and Aiden about going forwards and doing the best we can. And then also a very odd email from a PA about getting something for Davidoff's birthday, but then also a weird note about something going wrong with Devon's car with the builders. Did they drop like some equipment on it or something like that? I don't know. Very, very odd, out of context email there, but gives us a little insight maybe into other things going on in Devon's life. But the pressure is on clearly to perform this season, and that is where we go into race day for the Bahrain Grand Prix. With his confidence high, Devon Butler looks set to start the season strong at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we will be driving as him.
It's race day and our drivers are all out on the grid performing their final checks before we get underway here at the Bahrain International Circuit. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, Ocon, Norris, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Jackson, Gasly, Tsunoda, Bottas, Butler, Sargent, Joe, Magnussen, De Vries, and Nico Hulkenberg rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. 2023 Bahrain. We're about to get going, and I hope you've enjoyed the build-up just as much as we have. The teams are ready on the grid, they're ready in the garages too, but in the commentary box alongside me, are you ready, Ant?
Of course I'm ready, Crofty. New season, new challenges for all of them out there, drivers and teams. I love this part of the year, Crofty. This is where it really kicks off, and you get to showcase all that hard work you've done through the winter months. Does it pay off?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? What does the 2023 season have in store for us? We're about to find out.
Okay, Devon, it's a brand new season, you know that, so let's start it as we mean to go on, okay? Okay? Let's get out there, come on.
So here we go, the first race of the 2023 season, and we are in the shoes of Devon Butler as we go to 5 red lights, and we're underway for this brand new season. The pressure of our father and the team on our shoulders. We've been out-qualified by Aiden Jackson, but we're looking to make some moves early on. We're on the medium compounder tyre. 14 laps in this 25% race at the Bahrain GP. Let's see where we can get up to. The main objective is the top 5. The bonus is top 3 with the fast lap of the Grand Prix. So clearly we are expected to do very, very well in this race. And we're going to have to see because we're quite far back actually. P11 though made some really good places up in the first couple of corners. Already got past Jackson without any incident as we now try and sling one round the outside of Lando Norris. He's going to give us a little bit of room to work with as he gets unsettled on the curb. We're up into P10, into the points-paying positions, but we need to get the top 5 minimum, and then we'll see about getting a top 3 and the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Of course, as I've said before, though, to be fair, even with the hardest difficulty on Breaking Point 2, obviously it is a game mode for more casual players, so I think we should, by the end of the race at least, be able to get to the top 3 as we try and get past Sergio Perez, who gives us a bit of a squeeze on the soft compound. Slight lock up from the Mexican and gets us through into P8 at turn 1, and now set our sights on Carlos Sainz. Ocon flying high for Alpine up in P6, Hamilton ahead of him in P5 as we go round the outside of the Ferrari. Ferrari. He puts us onto the curb, but we stayed committed, and it definitely seems like this Connor Sport car is a lot better than it was last season, as we are doing very well indeed now, looking to make a move on Ocon, fake to the right, go to the left, round the outside, and we're up into P6. And it's only the end of lap 2. I think a top 3 is very much in sight. There's a bit of a gap after these 2 ahead of us, but maybe even further than a top 3 might be on the cards as Hamilton and Leclerc do battle. Hamilton on the inside, a little bit of contact with him and Leclerc as the 2 jockey for position. The Ferrari down to P5 now, and that is our main objective. You can see floating above Leclerc's name tag. So can we make the move maybe down the hill just like we did on Carlos Sainz? We're going to get a good exit here, maybe a little battery usage as well. Go to the inside this time, not to be shoved off onto the curb. We'll actually shove Leclerc off onto the curb, learning from his teammate there. And we're up into the top 5, and we've got the main objective, but we're going to continue to do more. Now, there is a gap there to the top 3, so we are going to have to put in a fastest lap to probably even catch up to top 3 to get that bonus objective, although we set one right now as we come to the back of Lewis Hamilton. DRS aided to help us out down the straight into turn 1, and Hamilton puts up a bit of a squeeze on the soft compound. We're going to give him a bit of room on the inside there, and actually he swoops by in, and we're going to have to wait for the second bite of the cherry. Didn't want to turn in too aggressively because I thought we would have made contact otherwise, so Hamilton instead defends down to the next right-hander. We again fake to the inside, go to the outside, and Hamilton's putting up a stern bit of defence here. Almost banging tyres there as the 7-time world champion, very stern in his defence. As we're on the inside though, we've got the better racing line, and just like with Lando Norris, we make the move at that same corner, and now we've got 2.7 seconds to try and bridge, and we're going to be helped out by this fight for the top. Fernando Alonso involved in the top fight is this, as they're 3 abreast. Mercedes, Aston Martin and Red Bull. Verstappen down in P3, and it is Fernando Alonso fighting Russell for the lead of this race. Oh, how F1 fans would have loved this to be in a scenario in real life at the IRL 2023 Bahrain Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso leads the way here in Bahrain from Russell to Verstappen, and we've caught up now on lap 5. We are a medium, so at this point now, maybe these soft tyres for these guys are starting to wear away, so we've got the tyre advantage right now. We've got a bit more pace in the tank. DRS open, and we're going to make a cheeky late dive bomb. Very, very aggressive on Verstappen with some contact made, but I thought, you know, we're driving as Devon Butler. We've been quite clean so far in the race. Would he not, you know, being the egotistical person he is, would he not think to give Verstappen a taste of his own medicine when it came to the aggressive overtake department? I think he would. So we kind of emulated what I feel the character would do with that overtake, as now we see Russell Alonso bang tyres a little bit on the rear end as Alonso ferociously defends Russell. As we now are going to try and make a move, but we get boxed in with Alonso and Russell. Can we try and go to the inside instead, follow Russell through, and then make the overtake on him as well as we try and go for the double overtake? It's 3 abreast as Alonso keeps it around the outside. We almost get squeezed out and pinched in a very similar way to how I did by the McLarens in the My Team Career Mode episode a couple of days ago. But we get into P1 and we come in on lap 8, having done a pretty decent first stint on the mediums. We're now coming in for the soft compound of tyre. A couple of other people have already pit. I think Leclerc pit in a lap or 2 earlier, so maybe a bit of an undercut for them. So let's see. I think the pace was all right once we got into first place. We didn't pull away massively, but we definitely kept everyone at bay. So on to the soft compound of tyre. It was a good pit stop. Wasn't an optimal one, so we could have done better there. But on the exit, there is Leclerc. They've got a massive undercut on us. Look at that. Alonso, Leclerc, and I think that must be Verstappen all ahead of us as we go into turn 1. Ocon jumps us, and even Lando Norris comes through. So I spoke earlier just about maybe even on the hardest difficulty, breaking point 2 for those of us who play F1 a lot, maybe a little bit on the easy side, but I'm quite surprised. We just got undercut by about 4 or 5 drivers there, so either my pace was horrendous on the mediums right at the end until the pit stop, or they just sped up so much on that undercut strategy. Either way, it gives us a bit more work to do because we have to go ahead and re-overtake Ocon just to get our main objective of P5. And we've only got 4 laps to go now to try and get the top 3. So this is going to be close. We get to the end of lap 10. We're on the back of Alonso, but I want to try and get this win. How unreal would that be to get the win whilst being under all this pressure from Devon's father, the team, etc. Clearly, he was down a little bit about the pressure that is on his shoulders from his father. So I think first place would be an insane result to try and get in this chapter, as we did get Alonso fair and square. And now on the back of Leclerc, who recovered well, actually did very well to jump Russell and Alonso. And Russell, I think he's just fallen off the cliff. I don't even know where he is. I think he must be outside the top 5 minimum, but I think he's even worse than that. So Russell's had a howler from leading this Grand Prix, and now we are in the podium position and looking to try and get the Ferrari. And we'll go for the late lunge, bit of a kamikaze dive down the inside. Both myself and Leclerc on the soft compounder tyre strategy, going faster at the end of this race. So both of us looking to try and gain on Verstappen, but on lap 12 we're the ones in the driving seat to try and make the move. Verstappen gives us no room on the inside to work with. Instead we go to the outside, a little bit late on the brakes with a dive. Verstappen comes back through side by side, but we have the better traction on the soft compounder tyre on lap 12 to get back into first place. How we did it before the pit stop. And to be fair to Verstappen's AI, he kept up with us and kept us very honest all the way to the end. But we are going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix, the opening of the season.
Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
Meanwhile, plenty of surprises in the midfield. So where do we start, Ant?
Well, I think we have to look at Connor Sport. For me, they've been the biggest surprise so far, and Butler, he's doing fantastically well.
The thing is, though, they've got to sustain that over the course of the whole season, and that is easier said than done. Certainly one Casper Ackermann will be hoping that this season is better than his last. Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top 3 finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
I never thought I'd be happy seeing Devon Butler on the top step of the podium, but because we achieved it for him, driving as him, you can't not be kind of happy. That was a very, very decent race. Kept Verstappen at bay in the last couple of laps to keep the first place, and had some very decent pace there. And that is a weight off maybe his shoulders at the start of this. I hate this, man. I'm already relating to him, and I'm already now wanting to do well by him. This is exactly what they wanted by switching it up and making us play as him. God damn it. Now we've got an interview with Pinkham.
What a start to the season, Devon. You must be happy with that performance.
Answering this as Devon, surely it's got to be something about give me the car and I'll smash it. Gotta be.
You know, sometimes I wonder if anyone's been paying attention. You know, I've always been fast. Everyone saw the problems we had with the car last season.
Oh, what an ego still.
That. Now this season, I get to drive a car that works, and surprise, surprise, I smash it. It's not rocket science.
Well, you've had your share of run-ins in the past with teammate Aiden Jackson. Crucial question is that behind you? How do you feel about him right now?
Well, out of these answers, I think we should go with the one we've got specially unlocked because of our level. He's got an attitude problem. I think that's something Devon would definitely say about Aiden, I think.
Ah, listen, Aiden is the greatest F1 driver of all time. You ask him, he'll tell you. What, you think I've got an attitude problem? Aiden has got stealth ego, let me tell you. You don't know it's there, and then it emerges. He's a handful. Trust me.
Well, Connor Sport surprised everyone by appointing Casper Ackermann as team principal this season. So how do you feel about taking orders from someone that you've got such a history with?
Again, we've got to go about talking about ourselves. Even they're asking about Casper. I'm sure he's thankful to have me. That would definitely be something Devon says.
I think he's going to do a terrific job, you know? Mainly because he's got me on his team, so he can't go too far wrong. Now, I'm sure he's incredibly thankful to have me as a driver.
Well, you're embarking on a new year, but what would a successful season look like for you in 2023?
It's definitely not making Casper laugh. I don't think it's about impressing... Well, it maybe is about impressing Davidoff, but he would never say that publicly, for sure, that kind of thing. So, just about making the best of the team.
I'm making it my personal mission to make a success of Connor Sport. And by the end of the season, you're all going to be saying what a wonderful team we are and how great a season we've had. And if you're doing that, then I'll consider it a job well done.
Thank you so much for your time.
Post-race at the Bahrain Grand Prix, Devon starts the season in fantastic form with an impressive result for Connor Sport in Sakir.
Great race out there today, just in the highlights. Listen, I know we've had our run-ins and, well, last season was last season.
Connorsport's got a real punt. Casper on board, you driving like that. Let's get the start behind us.
A fresh start for the team. What do you say?
Huh, Jackson. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Bin's over there. Yeah. Nice one.
How about the season just gone?
The 2023 season was completely different for Connorsport.
How so?
But the car, for one. We'd ironed out the most critical issues, and it was just starting to live up to its potential.
Can we talk about what happened with Devon?
Oh, drama is definitely on the way. Andreo looks stressed having to retell what happened with Devon later in this story. But also, interestingly, Devon, even though we did well for him in the story, and it was a great first race, he still looked antsy, and he was like zoning out Aiden as if like he wasn't really listening properly. Like he was so focused on his inner thoughts. Maybe he's like inner monologuing about what his father said to him, and you know he's got all this pressure about wanting to do well, and still that wasn't good enough maybe, or just like disassociating with everything around him whilst he's thinking about that. Maybe that was interesting. So maybe Devon's got some inner demons with what, you know, his relationship with Davidoff, like I said, maybe. But okay, very interesting chapter this has been so far. And speak of the devil, Davidoff's calling us.
Yeah, what is it?
Now that's how a butler takes care of business.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Carrying the team, Devon, as well as the butler name. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, went well.
Well? I can't wait to hear what those clowns Ackerman and Connor have to say.
Yeah.
Hmm? You okay, Devon?
What? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'm, just adrenaline, Dad. I really pushed it out there today, you know. I just need to simmer down a bit.
Of course you do. Let's talk later. I'll be in meetings, but call me whenever you like. I'm proud of your son. Let's just make sure today's result isn't just a one-off. Eh?
Yeah. All right. Ciao.
Even when Davidoff's trying to pay his son a compliment and saying he's proud of him, he has to interject with, but let's make sure it continues like that, right? But what was that phone call? What was that? Devon didn't sound happy at all. I thought maybe like hearing his father say some nice things about him and being impressed would have made him happier, but clearly not. So maybe something else is going on. Maybe Devon really does have some inner demons he's working with, you know, like I said, with the, you know, ignoring Aiden and kind of zoning out of things. Maybe he's got something else on his mind that's playing up, because he didn't seem like his usual peppy self, and you would think after he's won a race or done very well and his father's saying he's proud, he would be like straight on it, like, you know, yeah, told you so, like I'm the man, and giving him the big one. So okay, maybe Devon has got some more complexity to him as a character than we all first thought. But yeah, Casper's very happy with the result, and clearly, obviously, he would be. He as well saying he's pretty damn proud of us. So, you know, Devon's got, you know, his team principal, his dad, slash, you know, the one who's pumping all the money into the team, saying they're proud. So there's cause for celebration, and yet he didn't sound that ecstatic. So something else is at play, for sure. Like, you're not going to react like that when you've just won a race. And it definitely wasn't adrenaline, like he said. So something's there. But we've got an update about our car issue with the builder. So something went on. They decided to, they tried to hop into the driver's seat, it reads, and pretended to be a racing driver. So they basically were just fooling around with one of Devon's supercars, I guess, at his home. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's what he's caught up at. Maybe he just really loved that supercar so much and he's worried about it. I don't know. But that is where we're going to leave it off then. And although we've answered some questions about the character that is Devon Butler, we've also got a load of other questions about what is going on inside that head of his. But we'll find out next time in the next part. Guys, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, get subscribed for the next one, and I'll catch you guys then. Goodbye.